So here I am sitting outside a Goodwill first thing on a Friday morning before they're even open to see if they have any yummies. I haven't done a thrift with me in a long time. Goodwill seem to be very unpredictable in my area. Sometimes you walk out with a couple items. Last time I was at this store, I walked out with a full cart, but that was on a Thursday, not a Friday. So I don't know if the days matter, but most of the time I visit Goodwills in my area and I walk out empty-handed. So let's see what we can find today. So will this be my lucky cart? I have no idea, but I noticed that they did change the store around again from the last time I was here. So let's just take a gander to see what is on the shelves and what spikes my interest to share with you all. Of course, now we're after Easter, so there's still got a lot of bunny rabbits going on. And tins, I love that floral on the tins, but I'd want to put something in it and then I wouldn't want to use the lid. What would you use the lid for afterwards? So not only am I looking items to decorate my own home with, I'm looking for items to resell, and then I'm also looking for items that I can make over and share the process with you all. So you just never know what somebody that does what I do is going to be looking for. I thought that was super cute, but I wasn't sure if it was too plasticky. The frog was adorable, a cement bunny with wings. Oh my goodness, and then be still my heart, that mirror. I used to make these over and try to resell those spice racks until they just stopped selling. So that's an item that I leave behind now, one that has the cabinet doors in it. So you just, on this kind of journey, that's what I noticed, like things that I had picked up in the past and I had made over. I always like to share that, okay, well, in my area, they're not selling anymore, so I'm just going to avoid picking them up because it is fun to share the process of making them over, but we're resellers, so that's the whole point of this process is to resell it. And there was a whole bunch of these on the shelves. Now, they're shelf sitters that are on the edge of the shelf, but they're also music boxes. I had never seen any of those, and they were resin. So for me anyway, it's good to get in there first thing in the morning, see what they had stocked at the end of the day. Oh my gosh, that bunny is so cute. And see what they put on before they opened up. So you never underestimate what might look like a cheap piece might be more expensive than you think. So I told you there was a whole bunch of these little shelf sitter music boxes. Somebody must have turned in their collection. Now I was on the fence. I know that this is vintage, but I didn't really see a lot of resell in it, but it is a cute kitty cat. And I know somebody will be like, I wish you would have bought it because I would have purchased it from you. Well, there's that. So, and this is actually metal. I thought it was going to be like pottery, but it was not. You just never know the oddities of some things. I don't know. Did they sell them that way, or was that a hobbyist piece? Who knows? But my goodness, I love looking at the shelves. I look high and low. Oh my gosh. And these are interesting. They look vintage also. And I know when I go into a Goodwill and I see vintage, I'm like automatically, for some reason, I think that I have to grab it and I have to buy it. But not always is the resell in it. I am weak. I am very weak. I guess between all the Hobby Lobby donations or the Target donations, yeah, the next thing you know that it is in my cart. I'm just weak. That's just how it works. So I love looking around. I love taking a gander. I love when they have them separated because I'm a little OCD in my separations myself to see, yeah, like these random little trinket boxes were in with the dishes. You never know where somebody's going to set something down. Then are you like me? You don't care if it's not pumpkin season, if it's priced just right, which these were not. I would pick them up and save them for that season. There's that. But no, those were not. That was a cute journal. making your decision, trying to spend your money wisely. It is so easy just to pack a cart up and then be like, now what do I do with it? And we do the same thing at auctions. I get into the bidding moment just like everybody else. This would have appeared vintage, but it wasn't, and I was trying to decide if could do anything with it. This Goodwill has a back room where they have their furniture and blankets and a lot of frames and lamps. So I have to take a peek back here. I was interested in this floor lamp, but sometimes I steer clear of stuff because I'm not really sure always how to display it to resell it in our retail booth. And there wasn't anything that I probably would have done to it. It was a newer piece, and what I really was excited about it, that on the cord you stepped on it to turn it on. That was cool. I've not seen one like that. I love this little sewing yarn firkin, I'd call it, but I wasn't sure if the resale was there. I usually paint over ones like this with the brass rings around it, so I decided I was going to leave that behind for somebody else to appreciate it. I know one of the biggest controversies is if you're thrifting, it has to be at a thrift store and you can't thrift at an antique store. But when thrift stores have antique store prices or close to antique store prices, I think you can thrift anywhere, y'all. Whatever you're buying secondhand is thrifting. That's my personal opinion. Beveled glass mirrors always have my heart. I did choose to go to this town because they have two Goodwills. I went to the one that I found the most finds before first, of course, and now I'm headed over to the second one, or into the second one, to see what treasures they have. It's still, I don't spend more than 15 minutes really in a thrift store. I don't go through clothes. That's not my thing. I'm just looking for items, home decor items. So the shelves are packed, but that doesn't always mean you're going to find treasures, that for sure. Sometimes some of the empty shelves have the best treasures. It's funny to think 4 years ago when I started this journey, all I ever shopped at was a Goodwill. I didn't do anything else. I didn't do garage sales, estate sales, auctions, none of that stuff. I was able to find stuff, but those days, for me anyway, are gone. Gone. So I'm glad that the world has opened up, that I have other means of resourcing items. But I do still, my heart still is like drawn to going into Goodwills. How about y'all? And some people are lucky enough that their towns and they hit it at the right time every time can find yummies. And how would I have loved these to be real ironstone butter pats? But, you know, there's that. that. But her eyes are drawn. I'm a croc lover, so of course the croc, this new age croc stuck. Like, oh, I like it. Do I like it enough for the Amish? I don't know. She is hilarious. I mean, I look at everything. I know that there are people trying to always figure out our taste. Yeah, Chris and I taste when we're at auctions, and they just never can figure it out because we like a little bit of everything. Because that's how the world works. We all like something different. If we all like the same thing, what would you what would you do? Oh my gosh, you guys, do you see it? Do you see the home interiors candelabra yet again? Yeah, you know. I don't know why I find these all the time. So I always share our story about we do weekly auctions or estate sales and then now minimal Goodwill. But so what do you all do that are resourcers or resellers or people looking for items? How often do you go thrifting? How often do you go into a Goodwill? Do you do once a week, once every 2 weeks? Or back in the day when I was doing Goodwill, I was doing it every day, if not multiple times a day. And I am not sad. I am proud that I did that because those shelves are constantly changing at a Goodwill, that is for sure. So I just spied another mirror, but I wanted to share with you the reason I will leave this mirror behind is because it doesn't have bevel glass. In my journey of doing this, I noticed that mirrors, unless they're really extravagant, and this one just has a plain frame, if it's not beveled, it doesn't necessarily sell for us. all I can ever do is share our journey. I cannot compare it with anybody else. I can just, and it seems like every area sells things differently. And would you all picked up this wooden stack? I don't know. I wasn't sure if the resale was there or not. So I am going to hop over to this thrift store. I've been here before. I've never really found anything, but okay, y'all. So when we talk about you can only thrift at a thrift store, but thrift stores have antique prices. They have a lot of thrift stores now are doing this, and I get it. They are raising money for what they need. But yes, so there's that. So I will argue anybody that says you can only thrift at a thrift store, because you can totally thrift at an antique store. I've all shared with you on my social medias how to do that. People have sales in their booths. People don't always necessarily see the same value that you see in an item, and some people are just in it for the quick flip. They just want to price it low and get it moved on its way so they can buy more. So are you tired of shopping around with me yet? I'm going to pop in the Jackson Antique Mall. I've never been to this antique mall. I didn't even know it was here. Somebody told me, hey, have you ever popped in there? I had not, so I thought I would take a gander. But as antique stores go, or as thrifting goes, you know, our eyes are drawn to what our eyes are drawn to. And I know the items that I am looking for. So I just kind of was taking a gander. It was my first visit there. It was really packed. The aisleways were really small. I'm a flow person. I don't know about you all, but I need like to know where I'm going. It was 3 stories. There was a basement. There was an upstairs and a secondary upstairs, so like 4 levels. So not that this was a bad antique store, I just was overwhelmed with my first visit to this antique store. Oh, anyway, so I'm sure that somebody's watching has been there, or they maybe have a booth there. But yes, I'll have to go back a little bit when I'm not feeling so overwhelmed by how this was set up. And you just set things up what works for you. Yeah, so of course I had to come over and check out some milk glass, because it could have had some of the yummies that I collect. So a few of the things did catch my eye, but they were priced, you know, at the antique store prices. We're in an antique store. That's the way they should be priced. But sadly, I didn't really find anything at this antique mall. Maybe on a different day when my anxiety wasn't so high and I could figure out the flow. Sometimes you do have to visit a place another time to give it a second chance. But we all need to be comfortable where we're at. And I loved this booth, but then I couldn't remember where it was. So there was that. That's why I said I needed to have a flow. So let's see what I got. Did I get at Goodwill? Yes, I did pick up. I was not at even at $15. These mirrors were amazing. Old, heavy, great condition, beveled glass mirror, and something I can just clean up and put right into our retail booth. And what else did I get? I did get, let's see, did you guess? Did you guess that I picked this one up from the second Goodwill? Oh, heck yeah. Love the candelabra, like the long one. This, I thought this would be a great project piece. I love the finial on it. Interesting to see what I can do with, it's supposed to be a candle holder. I could still make it a candle holder, but put some greenie or something and decor it up. These candlesticks, I thought I could rusty crusty them, so I'm going to go ahead and pick those up. I did pick up these little trinket boxes. People seem to like those, even at the $12 price. I'll see what they go for and price them accordingly. I never pass up a plain crock because I can put a marmalade stamp on it. In my booth, they do sell, so I'm happy about that. I thought this little sweet angel bunny, oh my gosh, he was so cute. So I did pick him up. I don't know. I was on the fence on this, and I was actually going to put this back, and then I was already at the checkout. So I ended up keeping it. So we'll see if that's an item that sells. And along with this, I thought the crock was neat. Pasta spaghetti. I like wording on them, though they're not terrible. This one's probably not terribly old. No barcode, so no, not terribly old. This one's got a little bit more age to it. But yeah, so I did pick them up. And the last thing that I got out of Goodwill was this. I thought this would be a great project piece. It's just a little canister, but painted up, rusty crusty, that patinaed a little bit more. Maybe we'll see how it looks when it's painted, because it is kind of rusty crusty. I think it's copper, so that's why it looks that way. And I know y'all see the rest of this haul. This is some of the pieces. I did pick this up at an antique mall. The one I did not film the antique mall. And then I picked this up at an antique mall. You never know. You know, people always are on the fence about thrifting at an antique mall, but some people are just willing to sell. They just want to sell. Another antique mall here in my local town. Look at that white bowl. Would you have thought that white bowl had uranium in it and that it would glow? Look at, you would never know that this bowl, bring it over here, glows like that. So I'll put it in my booth next to my black light and a glowy collector. They had it listed as uranium glass, so I'm glad that I had my keychain one on me to test. And along with the same one in their booth. My buddy doesn't want to scoot over and play. Look at that one. That is so cool. And this one, I believe it says salt. So let's see if we glow it. It's hard to focus in, but you can kind of see the salt. So yeah, it's a white color, but it's a uranium glass. So antique mall, sale in their booth. And another antique mall, this was a sale in their booth. It was already good price and then a sale in their booth. And then, let me see, this one also was a sale in somebody's booth. I have a coffee one right now. I thought the tea would look nice. Sometimes I stage my booth. Yes, I do. Picked up some gardening gloves. This was a sale piece in somebody's booth and priced perfectly. Oh my gosh, it's so stinking cute. New purchase good. These, yep, somebody's sale. Awesome. I don't know if any of them glow. Maybe these chunky ones on the bottom, which are restaurant-ware cups. So I was looking for some more jadeite that was reasonably priced. All antique mall. So sometimes when people only get one piece, they put it right in, and I'll just save it until I get the little 1 cup and saucer. So I bought this in somebody else's booth, and then I bought this in somebody else's booth, and now I have the set. And of course, when I'm looking for them, I find a piece of ironstone. So I'm a hoarder. I admit it. So before I share the rest of the stuff on the table with you, I feel like I need to explain. So the rest of the stuff on the table came from an estate sale that I went to on Thursday. When I'm filming this is Saturday morning, bright and early, like 6:15 in the morning, because we're headed off to a humongous, oh my gosh, humongous estate auction where there's hundreds of banana boxes full of antiques. They didn't even unpack them to show them. An antique dealer passed away, and they just found all these. Oh my gosh, so you'll have to wait for that video. But yeah, so we need to go earlier than normal to be able to open up and see what's in the boxes. So anyway, so Thursday morning, I go to an estate sale that caught my eye. It's not terribly local. It was still like 40 minutes away. So that's close, because they had a huge bittersweet swung vase. I don't know the size of it, but ever since I saw the picture, I was dreaming, and I'm like, oh, that would look so good in my retail booth, because I have this wonderful cupboard cabinet display unit that we had bought from the lady when she gave up her booth, and it has a wonderful space for swung bases, and I really do like to keep it filled. So
I was there 4 hours and 15 minutes early, and I was willing to sit to be the first one in line to be able to grab that swung vase. I was third, y'all. I was third. I did not get it. So a husband and wife that I've seen before at estate sales, and we saw them at the Jackson flea market, collectors, resellers, just like I am, they had been there for 6.5 hours before the sale. So yeah, husband and wife, I couldn't complete. They collect Pyrex and they collect Pyrex and swung vases. So I knew as soon as I saw who it was, I was not going to get it. But so do I turn around and go home? Heck no. My gosh, I got up early. I got ready. I got out there. So I guess I'll just sit and wait. So then I decided, since I knew she would go and grab all the Pyrex, and it was some nice Pyrex. Pyrex is kind of iffy in our area. There's a lot of dealers that have Pyrex. So you need to like find the whole nesting set, the cylinder out of bowls, a unique pattern, trending color, whatever that is. So I can't say we have so many dealers in our retail booth, or our retail in the antique mall anyway, that sell Pyrex. So I do have a shelf of it, slow movers, unless it's something fabulous or I can get a really good deal for it. So I knew she would go get that. He would go get the swung vase. And I thought, you know what? I know that there's Tiffany style glass lamps. So I know that I can resell those. And if they're good enough price for me to resell, I'll go ahead and go in, because I knew those were in the bedrooms, that I would go in and grab all those. So that's what I did. It was a beautiful vase. I saw it. The price was yummy. Not great. I mean, as a reseller, and you know that those big bottom swung vases, especially the bittersweet color, sells. And I had to, because I have this beautiful display of them, and I try to hunt them out, search for them. I do have buyers now that come looking, just messaging if I have any, or check out our Facebook page to see if I've added any. So yeah, I am blessed that way to have the social media to be able to sell these. I don't ship them. I'm not into that kind of glass. Just makes me so nervous. So let me take the camera down, and I'll share you the little haul that I got. Waiting 4 hours and 15 minutes, and call me crazy. I know. I know it seems really crazy, but heck, there's somebody crazier than I am, because they were there since 2:30 in the morning. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the sale didn't start till 10. So anyway, okay, let's take the camera down and share them with you. I had a lot of mid-century modern, but since I went directly into the bedrooms to grab this beautiful Tiffany styled lamp, beautiful stained glass, another little stained glass, and then the hummingbird, tulip, flower, and then the kitty cat. I lost out on a lot of the mid-century modern. I did actually stumble across a pair of lucite orange candlesticks. I grabbed the little red bird of happiness, and it is signed, and I find that one sells a little bit better. It's a little bit harder to find than the bluebird. And then I picked up these. Another lady had a set of morels, and I was like, oh, I like those too, but I thought these were they're just fun. And then I did get the jadeite bowl, because they were grabbing the Pyrex, and then a broom. But that was it. So I was lucky enough. This house was really tiny. I knew and have purchased and had gone to estates from the estate company that was running it. They were only going to allow 15 people in at a time, because it was really tiny. And like the hallway was one person passage. The doorways were small. Yeah, so that was that. So I just had to make the decision that I didn't want to leave empty-handed looking around, that I knew I'm just going to go ahead and grab. I'm a reseller. My purpose is to go find items to resell, first of all. And then, of course, there's always to decorate my own home with. So you can call me crazy. But there's always somebody that's a little bit crazier than I am. So yeah, I could see Chris's face when he was getting ready for work, and I'm like, nope, I'm leaving now. I'll go sit. I could edit in my car. I do that a lot sometimes when I have to sit at sales. I try to get all my videos filmed, and then I'll just sit in my car and edit them while I'm waiting. It's better than just sitting on my couch waiting, or I don't have a lap cat though. But anyway, thanks for watching today's video. I hope you guessed what I got at Goodwill. Yeah, our Goodwills are so hit and miss in this area. The one that I used to go to all the time, it's not in my same town anymore. So, and I hardly ever find anything there. But now I've got another one out of town I've been visiting. And so far so good. Yeah, the artwork was a little bit on the pricey side. I mean, they can charge what they want to charge. You saw the one thrift store that I went in, like, you know, you get these comments on our channels once in a while, like, well, that's not a thrift store. Yeah, that was a thrift store with antique store prices. And they are raising for a cause. They're whatever. So anyway, thanks for watching today's video. Let me know what the items I found today were your favorites. And, did you think I was all crazy going 4 hours early to a sale? So yeah, thanks again. We'll see you next time, and you can see what we're up to. Bye. So Chris is going to share the haul with us. This is a haul that we got from an auction, and then doing a little bit, of course, antiquing after the auction. So he's going to show a few of the favorites. This is my favorite.
So this is a goat cart. When I was there, Yvonne, it was noisy, and she goes, I'm really going to go for the go-kart. And all I could hear was go-kart. And then I'm like, I didn't see a go-kart. And she goes, no, a goat cart. So I came over, and lo and behold, this is actually a goat cart.
He didn't believe me. I'm like, I have not won a bid on a goat cart before, so.
Yeah,
So she was able to pick this up. A lot of people after she got it were asking, hey, has that sold yet? Has that sold yet? Because this place was very big and very crowded.
Yep. And the auctioneer was at the end of the auction, and the auctioneer was going fast. So I got a great price on that. Then Chris's favorite.
Yet again, I got another barrister cabinet. This one is actually very nice. It's got leaded glass at the top.
Let me get close.
It fits together extremely well.
Just needs
It needs one knob here, which we have extras.
Yep.
And it's a 5-drawer.
It's huge.
The bottom one is larger. But it is in great shape.
Awesome.
And as you'll see on the video, you'll see what happened to the 3-drawer one that we had.
Yeah, you'll see that from the previous week.
All right, so staying with the auction, this box came up, and Yvonne said, ooh, that was what I was looking at. So she hurries up and bids on it. And then about 5 minutes later, they bring up this one, and she goes, no, that's the one I was looking at.
Couldn't remember.
So either way, she got them both.
So they are grain measuring scoops, not to be confused with cheese boxes. I know they look like cheese boxes, but they're actually
They're a heavier wood.
Yeah, they're a grain measurement of some sort. So the one auction that we went to that was really expensive, now I'm knowing to bid on those if I can get them.
This is a very nice, clean coffee grinder. And what's neat about this one, I'll have to tighten down this screw or repin it because it wants to come up. But it's actually geared back here, so when you open one, they both open. Unfortunately, because the screw's loose, it won't close, but I thought that was a neat concept to it.
It is a very neat concept.
Some mirrors.
I ran into a mirror. Hold on, no 7 years bad luck.
So
Look at my feet. I have bad shoes on.
Yvonne was going for this mirror, and the guy said we're looping them all together. So she got all of these mirrors and the frames.
Yeah, these are just people love salvaged pieces. So I can't wait to clean those up. This one's going to go directly into our booth. So that mirror is going to go directly into our booth. It's been raining all day, y'all. Because not even 3 days did we put the mail pouch
big sign that we got a couple weeks ago, no, not the time you're watching this, it's sold already. I knew that it would sell. I probably put it too low a price, but at least we doubled our money, and that's what we were happy to do. We need something in its place, and that mirror will take a portion of it in our booth. So
these mirrors actually set on dressers back in the day. All of these did. So what Yvonne likes to do is have me hook up a wire across the back, and then it gets flipped all the way around. So it's a hanging mirror now with a shelf on the top.
Yeah. So we're we're in here because we had Easter. So our haul got brought into the studio workshop instead of going into our regular garage because we were hosting Easter. So then somebody collected a huge collection of the Monarch older tins. So I did grab the bigger ones.
So during the auction, they brought up this lamb. This is actually cast. This is a heavy duty one. It's number 866.
I don't think it's a Griswold. I don't know. I don't see a Griswold. I don't see Griswold on it, but I don't know.
But Yvonne got that. And then towards the end of the auction, there were 3 auctions that the people were going to do there. The guy had said, you know, he's going to be there for 9 hours doing this. So he had all the primitives were for the first 4 hours. Then he had a ton of bottles, old jars and everything that was going to be the next hour or two. And then after that, there was a mountain of old antique dolls that they were doing. So they had it planned out, and it was getting close to 2 o'clock. So the other gentleman that was helping with the auction, he just started grouping things together and stuff. And some people weren't bidding on things, and that's where I picked up this aluminum cast bunny. No one had bid on it, and I said, I'll give you $5 for it.
Yeah.
I thought Yvonne would be happy with that, and surprisingly she was.
I was. And then we did get some crockery, some beautiful crockery. I think I'm going to bring some of my crockery out of my booth that hasn't been selling and start putting some labels on it. That's a nice inspiration. Just some other crockery. I couldn't believe these little pots are actually
Terracotta pots that are
salt glazed pots. Yeah. And I believe I got these 3 at the antique mall. So I love those. Yes, you do see a swung vase. And if you saw our social media, you know Chris found me a swung vase for a great price at an antique store. I picked up these 2 because they came with one of the measure grain scoop wooden things. I don't know what the correct term is, but I thought these are Blue Brothers pottery. I always get that wrong. I love the little dog, and it's got a deer on it. Greyhound, probably. Anyway. And then the next lot I bid, Chris thought I was bidding for the pie birds, but I was bidding for this. Look at that. It's a pottery pitcher with the cutest little chickies on it. Oh my gosh, so super cute. Oh, it is signed. It was signed. I didn't think it was signed the day that I bought it. So super cute. And then we just have some other odds and ends, some project pieces, this barn project piece to make a little vignette. Look at that scale, the green color. And of course I needed more terracotta pots, like a hole in the head, right? But there I am buying some more.
You didn't have enough small ones.
Oh yes, I didn't have enough small ones. That's what I said.
I'm seeing that's a lot.
What?
Lastly, we got this at an antique store. It's actually a functioning scale. So it's zeroed out right now. It actually works. But it had that rusty crusty that Yvonne wanted on it. And they had a weight on it. Now, this weight wouldn't have gone on it because this is a 500-pound weight. So to fit a 500-pound whatever you're going to put in there is not going to work.
I do actually think it should be cleaned up a little bit so it can show. Because if you look, it has red. And the rust is overpowering that. I bet Chris can clean that up nice without taking all the rust away and leaving some of the red.
Yeah.
I'm sure he can. And
so lastly, there were some tools at the auction, and these wrenches were all together. And I thought, well, I'll buy those if they go for the right price. And the guy wanted to move it along, so he said, all of this. So I still got it at a very good deal, and I've got some other things to go through. There's some nice pieces in here. Here's a Stanley angle finder, another Ford wrench, some C-clamps.
So yes, that is just one auction and one
Antique
store that we went to. Actually, I have to go back to the antique store because we forgot something, and of course we had no plans of going back to that antique store anytime soon. But
and it's an hour and a half away.
it's an hour and a half away. Gosh darn it! At all. Anyway.